Hey, welcome, everyone. It is Gleekon, a completely human person, talking about a game called World of Warcraft. Welcome to my human show, Lore of Warcraft, where I try to cover everything in the World of Warcraft universe. Today we are going to continue World of Warcraft Classic. We are in Tanaris, and we are with a Alliance character. Stay a while and listen. No, I don't think I can keep that voice up for 2 hours. Alright, yet again, we are this is I think our 6th episode. 5 times we've made a run to get the elusive hippogriff eggs, and we are only 2 out of the necessary 4. We are here in Darnassus because the rise of the Silithid is a big concern to goblins. And they say, tell everyone you know, tell your wife, tell your kids. So we're not going to tell any of those things because the lore that I've crafted right now in my head for my character says that, she doesn't have those things. But what she does probably have is an interest in Lady Sylvanas Windrunner. Actually, Grossina Spirit Might. Really, Sylvanas, probably a little better. I don't know if I was going to judge on the looks of all of the female characters, but if you combine the overall package of personality and looks, I still don't know. I've honestly never thought about it before because this game has such a cartoony illustration. But we're going to talk to this girl. Just pretend that my brain is not permanently on some sort of saline drip inducing mental diarrhea at all times. I really think we can get quite close to finishing this zone today, and I think we'll probably, I hope, if the RNG gods bless us, we'll finish the next time, which probably won't be until, in a couple days, probably Thursday or Friday.
How may I help?
Peace and tranquility be unto you, stranger. Why have you sought me out this day?
This report. We Night Elves know of the terror mentioned here. Fizzledowser was wise to send this, and you to me. These creatures will consume the Tanaris desert rapidly. They are nothing short of one of the greatest menaces we all will ever face. Familiarize yourself with this name, adventurer. Silithid. The insects mentioned here are the Silithid, and they are the tools of one of the greatest threats that both the Horde and Alliance face. If only we were smart enough to see that before.
Okay, so she said twice in the same paragraph, this is going to be the greatest thing that we face regardless of faction, and they're known as the Silithid. Thank you, non-robot, for speaking to me correctly. Okay, we're done with the rise of the Silithid is how I say it, but I could 100% be wrong. Okay, so we're going to go on over. That is an Alliance-only quest, so we can actually check that box, and that's going to give us the next quest. March.
The Silithid's intent, nay,
Silithid, that time.
Is to devour everything in their path that is not of their ecology. Their focus is singular, and it is for this reason they are a grave threat to all life on Azeroth. What we've seen to date is but the first stages. I suspect that their strength comes from deeper in Kalimdor, Ungoro Crater. Go to Gadgetzan in the Tanaris Desert and speak to alchemist Pestlazug. Tell him of my theory. He will surely aid us in fighting the Silithid.
Sure, her accent's all over the place. Okay, so March of the Silithid this is where it starts to become a little more difficult, but it's not like anything special. We're going to do that quest when we arrive. It's really just a breadcrumb to the next part of the chain. In the meantime, we got a little bit of work to do. I think before we get too deep in that chain, well, of course we have to go back, and we're going to do our 6th attempt at an egg. I am scared. So our first attempt, we had a 100% chance of success, and we did. Very first time we got a fine egg. Second chance, we had a 75% chance of success, and we did collect it. We got a bad egg. Then, third chance, we had a 50% chance. We failed. We got another fine egg. Fourth chance, we still had a 50% chance. We failed. We got another bad egg. And the fifth chance, we had another 50% chance, and we failed and we got another bad egg. So we have had 3 bad eggs and 2 fine eggs. And we're going to go for a 6th egg right now. Again, I did some napkin math last time. We're flying down to Feathermoon Stronghold because there are 2 points from which to embark upon the quest for the eggs. If you are Alliance, it is slightly easier to make the trip. The time is almost identical to get from Feathermoon Stronghold to here versus the lower wilds to here. The distance is a little shorter here, but this requires crossing the sea, so it's a little slower. If the boat is right there and you can shoot that way, if the boat going this way, since it goes like this, is not worth it. But when it goes back, it just shoots across. So if you can catch that across, it's very fast. And it's also nice and easy to make this walk. It's like pretty flat. This one's got elevation, falling in lakes. You're avoiding Camp Mojache. Everything about this one sucks. What is this? Oh, that's a lighthouse off the shore of Darnassus. I don't think I ever looked at that lighthouse before. So, when we get there, we're going to get to kind of see both because we're going to fly here, get the egg, and then march back. But because this whole argument of which is faster goes out the window when you're flying back to Tanaris, because if you come back here, you then have to fly across the zone to this flight point, which you could walk to in the same time anyway, before flying back here. We also kind of need to start setting up for Zul'Farrak. This zone is actually taking us a lot longer than I thought, but it's 100% due to the eggs. It slows down the entire zone. It's a pain in the butt. So we do have some other things to do. Today we're going to go down here. I think this is my main plan. I want to get at least those done. And then between the eggs and getting those done and then escorting Tooga back over here, that will allow me to decide, do we have time to maybe go run and do Super Sticky Tar, or do we have time to come back here? Is it all going to be, am I going to hit 52 by then, and I've got to do a port back to Stormwind? Oh, we have to turn the Art of the Armorsmith in. So when I hit 52, we're going to go back to turn all that in. We got lots of things to say. Yay. Put your hands up if you hear me. So, I hope everyone's having a great day today. Elsewise in the world, okay, so in the real world, football, the new football league year started today. I'm a big football fan, for those that don't watch the show. So that has been very exciting, you know. I would say you get to kind of build up to the Super Bowl for a while in the beginning of February, but nobody really, like, unless you're one of those two teams, you don't really care. My team did not make it, as it has never made it in my lifetime, as a 42-year-old man. But we are now over a month out from that Super Bowl. So we've had over a month of, like, nothing. Just a couple little baby extensions here and there. So it's been interesting as the contract talks have heated up, especially over the past week. Then today is like just a storm of news. It's pretty fun while I'm at work to have my phone go off and I get to see an interesting league tidbit. And that's only the big names. There's so much to dive into. So as someone that has football as a hobby, it's the time of hope. It's the ebb and flow of just life. It's a microcosm, or I'm going to think of it as like a mediocosm of everything. You know, there is Just, there's big picture cyclical stuff. It's harder to watch the ebbs and flows of that. And then there's the tiny microcosm, say, when we try to embark on one episode each day here, can we get, a positive outcome? So we get to experience this each time we make an episode, or at least I do. And you do too, I'm sure, every time you play, if not this game, then any other game, or even real life games like shooting a game of pool or bowling, a frame of bowling. That's fun, or not just a frame, but a whole game. Because each time it starts anew, before you do the break or you make your first turn on bowling, everything's open. That potential of a perfect game, that potential of a running the table, it's all there, and there's varying degrees of success. So it's nice, and that's in the mediocosm, in the year-long cycle. This time the game is fresh for everyone, and every team can squint and see, maybe we could do good this year. I mean, you never know. My football team is the Minnesota Vikings, and last year was a perfect example where all the pundits thought the Vikings were going to be a below average to bad team. Some as low as 3 wins. I don't think I saw anyone other than diehard homers going above 7 wins. And we finished with 14 wins, second most in the franchise's history since 1970s. So that's pretty cool. You just never know when you're going to get to watch fun, and it's a fun time. So you're always looking for ways to improve, and I look forward to seeing that this year. So it's fun to read about it for all the teams as a fan of that. All right, enough of that talk. What about the World of Warcraft? Well, I've griped lately about Reddit. So I'm also a person that likes to peruse Reddit for all of the things I like. So I like the Minnesota Vikings, so I like to read the Vikings Reddit. A subreddit. I'm a fan of basically all Minnesota sports, so I like the Timberwolves. I love to read their Reddit. To a lesser extent, I'll look at the Minnesota Wild's Reddit, or even the Lynx sometimes. And then there's also other subreddits that spin off that. The NFC North Meme Wars is a fun one. And then I like ones that are tied into podcasts that I listen to. I listen to a football podcast that has a subreddit, and I like reading that. The people are funny on that. And one of the biggest, if not the biggest ones, actually, somehow I got sucked into the Retro Bowl subreddit. And Reddit is very, 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 what have you clicked on me lately algorithm. That's the one thing I don't like about it, is you click on one thing once, it greatly increases the chance it's going to bring stuff up from that Reddit into your alerts, your notifications, and then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, because then it pops up, and I'm curious. So lately my cycle has been very heavy on classic Warcraft. Because very frequently what people say, I'm at least curious enough to click it and read it. But now, that's all that pops up at the top of my feed, and it's drowning me with all of the things people post. And as I recently kind of griped about, a lot of it is just moaning and whining and complaining. And I mean, even if I agree with the person, it pretty much usually comes down to the two factions. This goes back to my rant I had the other day, where there are two factions in life. And I think it's more, I'm starting to create this central thesis of my own philosophy of mankind. That there are two philosophies in life. It is our ultimate responsibility to be understanding, supportive, and helpful of one another. Even if that requires self-sacrifice and martyrdom. Versus the tough love approach to life, and pampering people makes them soft and makes them dependent, and it is in fact in everyone's best interest to provide the minimal amount of support. Of course, that doesn't mean cruelty, but to provide the minimal amount of support that that you anticipate a person may need, and to allow them to struggle, with the goal being productive struggle. And if they fail in that, then they either deserve to fail, or they, didn't try hard enough, or whatever. So I think that is more than left and right politics, more than racial politics, more than woke versus unwoke. I think all of them are intertwined. I think it all comes down. There's connections, but you can be either of those other factions. You can be woke, you can be unwoke, you can be any racial or gender, or socioeconomic status, or whatever. And at the end of the day, you probably still adhere to one of those two things as well. The ability, the belief in serving your fellow man through self-sacrifice versus serving your fellow man through tough love. Let's call it that. And I think this comes down to the Reddit too. So you see the dichotomy of gold buyers and people that are in supporting of the real money being entered into the WoW economy and boosting and GDKP and things like that, and the people that are against it. And you also see a lot of like lamenting the good old days when a GM might answer your ticket, and how bots have destroyed everything, and now the bot armies and the bot mafias will mass report you if you dare try to boost when that's their corner of the market. Which I'm not saying any of these things are necessarily in this dichotomy I've created. I'm not saying like, if you're pro boosting, you must be pro whatever, tough love or whatever, or if you're part of the bot army, blah blah blah. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is what you see though is when you get deeper into the Reddit comments where people are now debating, it quickly devolves into those two things. I could be wrong. That's just a theory that I'm seeing, but it has just really, really dampened my view of what the World of Warcraft community is like. And I'm like, man, am I like that? Are we all like that? Are we just whiny people? But I've done plenty of instances with like nice, good people. I would say the most common experience though is like quiet people that don't want to socialize. I'm usually one of the more social people, but okay, we're playing a game. Sometimes you don't want to socialize. Like, other than the actual gaming together. We don't need to like become best friends and joke around and talk about our dogs or whatever. Like, everybody's different. I think it's probably, I don't know. I think there's probably an even split between people that genuinely want to grow the community with patience and teach versus people that have the expectation that you should know what you're doing, and will be condescending and insulting if you don't. And then I think there is a middle ground where we all probably actually fall somewhere not on either extreme of the spectrum. I tend to try to be helpful, but there are times when I'm just a douche, where I might go snatch up an ore or a mob just impulsively without even thinking like, that was actually a jerky thing to do. I've done it on camera before, where I was like, oh man, you guys just caught me being a selfish jerk. You also see a lot of like people that start out okay, but if you make like more than one or two mistakes, then they'll quickly be like, you know, I would like to be nice to you, but you suck and should kill yourself or whatever. Maybe not that extreme, but where the patience fades quickly. And, you know, I get it to some extent. I love my wife to death, but if my wife causes us more than a few wipes in one session, I might sometimes get a little snippy, or I will sometimes pull things that I would expect a moderately, like, even 1.5 characters to be able to do together. And my wife will be like, 0 contribution, or not. This is not every time, but it's just like this might happen from time to time. Or it'll be like she'll make the situation worse by butt pulling or whatever. And then there are those, when things like that happen, I might struggle to be my best self. But my whole point of bringing that spiel up is that ever since I complained about that the other day, I've noticed a couple little positive subreddits again for this game. And I was like, oh, that's nice. I can't remember an example off the top of my head. Like, I saw one the other day that was pretty cool. It was like an ode to how it started with somebody taking a picture of when you're going to cast an AoE spell. I don't think I have any on this character, but like, let's say you're going to cast like Blizzard or whatever, and you have that green AoE circle. That's your targeting circle. And people were like, I wonder where the runes in that circle come from. Is it something in the game lore? And it just, that's what I like to see. It let the conversation spun off into different places people have seen that, into the study of actual real-life historical alchemical symbols, of ways in which those same targeting circles were used in World of Warcraft 3. Which was a cool... Oh, I do that from time to time. Okay, we just got our Hippogriff egg, and now we can start the march. Did I start pressing record? And that was what I did yesterday. I screwed that episode up. Alright, we're 22 minutes in, and we've traveled from Darnassus to the Hippogriff eggs, and now we are... got in our egg number 6. And we are traveling back. Another good one I saw was people were posting about this guy was like talking about when he first played a character, for the first played back in 2004, played World of Warcraft, and how he was a lifetime RTS player and he loved Warcraft 3, and the just sense of wonder that was inherent in playing a game like this, which inhabited all of the zones that you had played in Warcraft 3 and to lesser extent Warcraft 2 and Warcraft Orcs and Humans, and just how mind-blowing that was. And I get that, but for me, I never played Warcraft 3. So, I mean, I've played it since, in the years since, and I played it on camera with you guys. We did all of that on previous episodes. We played everything in the game. So I didn't have that sense of wonder. I did have a connection because I did play Warcraft Orcs and Humans in Warcraft 2, but Warcraft 3 just came at a time in my life where I just wasn't plugged in. And I think I will tell you, honestly, the biggest factor, there's 2 factors that led to me not being heavily into Warcraft 3. One was the time that it came out. I played Warcraft 2... I want to say like end of middle school, beginning of high school. I played the heck out of that middle of high school. But as I got to the end of high school and went off to college, I was not gaming. There was a few-year period where gaming was not my priority. Like, I would game some. I did not have a PC, so even when I did game, it was like PlayStation gaming. But also, it was those college years. I was I wanted to go and socialize and party and have experiences and just... I remember when World of Warcraft dropped, but even that, I had been on a hiatus for a while. So I basically missed all of Warcraft 3, that whole window. It just came at a time when I didn't play. So I don't have that same sense of wonder from a Warcraft 3. It's almost the opposite. Now when I go back and I play like Warcraft 3, it's like, oh, now I can kind of reconstruct the history and how it built into World of Warcraft. And that's cool, because I'm a fan of World of Warcraft. So it's almost like a historian. I can look at it from that sort of perspective. Alright, I want to go around to get to here. I want to find the best way. I'm still working that out. As I see these raids and as we get closer and closer to level 60, I'm not going to lie, I am afraid about how the raid community is going to be, because I don't want to... I don't want to grind. I don't want to repeatedly raid to get best in slot gear. I just don't want to do it. So, my hope is it will not be that crazy, that I can join a guild that will allow me to take up one spot, even if I am suboptimally geared, and just participate and experience the raid. That's my plan, is can I do that? And if I have a hard time with that and gearing becomes a thing, what we will do is, after we've completed every other story in the game, we will pivot and begin doing Burning Crusade, and I will do a weekly episode where I work on the grind together. So, now of course, yeah, I don't know. That's my plan. We'll see how that goes. I hope that will work. I haven't really thought it through yet, because we still do have some time ahead of us. We still have yet to do Feralis and Maraudon. That's coming up soon, so we haven't even really hit what I would argue is endgame yet. Alright, now we're flying back to Tanaris. Yeah, because we still have to do, and on camera we still have to do Searing Gorge. And I will probably be able to start Feralis actually soon. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. But by the next day, I will personally... So by the time you see us doing the next long play video, I should have started Feralis on my own and working towards Maraudon. Hopefully there's nothing that really slows us down there. And then after that, that's the 3/4 mark in the game. And then we have Felwood, which I hope is not too bad. Ajara, which should be a quick one. Ungoro Crater will be difficult, but not too dense. Blasted Lands, similarly difficult, but not too dense. And then we'll wrap that up with the Sunken Temple run. We are easily able to run that at this point. Not worried about it. And then that will enter us into Endgame. It's just been really long. I don't know how long all of that's going to take us to do. At least a few months. Depends on life. And then we'll enter the final stretch, which will be Western Plaguelands, with somewhere in there, if I look at the dungeons, I have that somewhere, I just never keep these things poorly organized. Yeah, we will have Blackrock Depths will slide in there at some point, but I'd probably... That's really a Blasted Lands one. Or Burning Steps, at least. So... But Lower Blackrock Spire is also then followed by Scholomance. So probably we could do, like, once we get that far, we do Sunken Temple. Probably... We could then run Western Plaguelands, not do Scholomance yet. Maybe at that point... go run Blackrock Depths for fun. Then do the Burning Steps, throw in Lower Blackrock Spire. Then do, say, Eastern Plague Lands. I'm missing something. I'm in there. Blasted Lands. Yeah, then do Eastern Plague Lands and maybe do Scholomance at that point, and then do Blasted Lands, and then hit up Upper Blackrock Spire at that point, and then we still will not have done Stratholme and Dire Maul. So then maybe like Winter Spring, and we're hitting up Stratholme, and then followed by Silithus as we do Dire Maul. I don't know, or maybe we do a few dungeons in a row. It's hard for me to say. Alright, let's see what we got. Come on, baby. Let's get us a good egg. Please give us a good egg. Come on, egg. Egg RNG. Come on. Please, please, please. Ah, oh, it's another fine egg. Oh, gosh, the RNG is terrible.
Pleased to meet you. Off and away.
Ah.
Very good, adventurer. I will be sending this egg to Darnassus, where I hope it will soon hatch. Please accept this as a symbol of my gratitude.
Dang. Alright, we got shafted. We got a fine egg again. So that's really painful because I'm going to need to do something. Maybe we'll do some quest reading or something like that, because it's shaping up to where we're going to have an episode where I have to do multiple runs of that. March of the Silithid.
Yes, I gathered that Gracina sent you to me. Your experience in fighting these beasties is priceless. No one to my knowledge has ever dealt with their kind before. As for Gracina's idea that Ungoro Crater is their heart, perhaps it is. Ungoro is a mysterious and dangerous jungle to the west of here. Perhaps it is also one step closer to figuring out what the Silithid are all about.
I mean, yes, it's their heart, but also, no, it's not. Silithid is really their heart. All right.
My research revealed to me that the Silithid are like bees. Destroy the queen of the hive, and the rest of should be thrown into disarray. I'll brew a lure that we'll use to bring out the queen. Once summoned, you'll take her down. First, though, we need some reagents. We don't want you bungling into the jungle unprepared. Go west to find the Silithid hive in Ungoro Crater and obtain a scent gland from one of the bugs. I'll also need some samples of the native Ungoro soil.
Okay, the Ungoro soil just drops from like any mob, so we're going to do these, and also it's all over the ground. We will do these two quests together, probably on tomorrow's episode, but we'll see how time takes us today. Does time keep on slipping? Slipping into the future? I don't know. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to spend a big chunk of our time grinding out the scent, we're going to go fight the Thistle people, the Root Shaper guys, or whatever they're called.
Welcome to Tanaris, adventurer. How can I be of service to you today?
By that razor sharp beak
Like a blacksmith
that
to
I
me,
chopped off.
But I know how looks can be deceiving.
Alright, so we have now had 6 eggs. 3 fine, 3 bad. We've not had a single ordinary or extraordinary, which is very poor luck on our part. So, if we get to the end, there's 2 things we still need. We need the chicken egg in order to do the escort quest for that. And that's going to be... We're running out of stuff for that. We are going to fight those guys, and this is our last really good chance. If you look at the... Okay, if you look at this... Okay, the finding and rescuing of the egg is what we're looking for. That's now the lowest quest in the zone that we're waiting on. We've already done Gezridian. Now the Thirsty Goblin and In Good Taste. Where's that come from? Oh, I think... Yeah, this Dewland. That's where that is. There is a quest, I think, that comes out of that. Alright, so we're keeping our eye out also for... Oh, actually, we built all the mithril that we need. Or we've gotten it. Now, there's never enough. Mithril's always in high demand. Because we need to get to 250. And what's the best thing I can do to get that? That's 14, 16, 16, 14 for the heavy mithril boots. So heavy mithril boots and paired with the thick leather is a good one, but 2 more points for the heavy mithril breastplate. It's probably pretty good. The mithril coif, that's mage weave. That's better for sure. So mithril coif with the mage weave is our best. There's all kinds of things for that dazzling mithril rapier, which I don't want to build. Okay. Alright, I didn't see any mithril on the way, but for every 10 points of mithril, we can pair it with some mage weave. Even though I think we need the mage weave for... I think we turned in the mage weave here, yeah, but I don't think I've turned it in the other factions. Nope, the gnomes I have not. Yeah, so I am technically saving mage weave for that right now. Alright, so I can't use mage weave for that. Alright, here we go. We're looking for Tooga. He can actually, it says on Questy that he spawns like right around here. I've never seen him spawn there, not really. Alright, so we need to fight 8 root shapers. Any of these guys... No, these guys can't drop it. They can drop the egg, though. So, perhaps we will get lucky and get a chicken egg out of this. The XP is pretty good. This is another root shaper. Okay, so we need 8 of those. We also need 8 thistle shrubs, and then the water laden, or whatever the heck they're called. Those guys are the ones that can drop this dew laden gland that we need. So there we go. We have multiple. There you go. Those are the dew collectors. That drop rate is pretty bad. Of course, RNG could be whatever. We might get it on this very one. It might take us 50. The other times I've done this, it was a pretty bad drop rate. I don't think I had a good drop rate on any of them. Green Dragon World Boss. One day we will be there. We'll be at that level. Okay, we got the dew-laden gland right away, first kill. That's a good and bad thing. It's good because, you know, whatever. We don't have to worry about the RNG on that, but it is bad because we are going to need... We need that egg. So we now only have 14 kill opportunities. Now we could, if we wanted to be smart, we could wait until, like, the best drop rate is in Zul'Farrak. So we could fight Zul'Farrak and, you know, do that whole dungeon and hope we get the egg from that. But that's not how we roll, so I'm not going to do that. To be fair, like, I mean, to be honest, we could also run... You should run Zul'Farrak. You should be running, like, and killing the guys. Oh, I got a Heart of the Wild. I don't know that I need that for any gear, but maybe I do. To get the tablet that tells us how to get the mallet that we already got on both our characters. There's small thorium. I like that. Go grab some thorium. Anyone doing the Jasper Lode Mine quest? I'm pretty sure that's like Elwyn Forest. Seems like it should maybe more be in general. Better luck on that one. Ah. This guy is just maybe tougher? I don't know. Okay, got ourselves a raw black truffle. And that was our first thistle shrub. He did seem tougher than the other guys. These root shapers were fine. That thistle shrub seemed a little bit worse. These guys are also just, the level is a little bit tougher. We're 51, the mobs here are around 50. Like we just are getting to a point in the game. Oh, that's a root totem. Let's see. Yeah, we're just getting, it's getting tougher. We're gonna hit 52 soon. One, that's what I hate about these small thorium. One. You get 1 to 2 ore from them. Lame. We still have to get to level 53 to even get our consecration, which I'm eager for. Frost resist gear, eh? Okay. Now, these guys are just tough. Alright, I'm going to continue to kill them. Where are we at? We've killed 6 out of the 16. Not too shabby. Looking, any enchanters that can do 10 shadow resist to a cloak? They say in the chat. Yeah, so that was a nice breath of fresh air on the Reddit. It's been a nice change of pace than everybody just complaining. And you know, most of the time it's people complaining about boosting, which I get it. I went through a period of time when I first was really getting heavily back into Classic, where I was just like, dude, the boosting is insane. Boosting the GDKP, the gold gatekeeping, real world, funded of course by real world gold in the game, the constant, and then when I just started like ignoring everyone, then my feed, and then really what saved the day was when Anniversary came out, and that separated, that brought most people over to Anniversary, and really, especially all the bots, all the farmers, they felt like that's where the money was at, and now it's just so much nicer. Sorry, we don't need that dew collector. Okay, we're halfway. We've literally killed 4 of each. No chicken eggs so far. That's pretty gnarly. One of the downsides about Anniversary is it is way more packed, especially as one mega server essentially. Oh look, there's our guy Tooga. So just keep an eye on him. We're gonna kill our guys first. I'm not gonna rush to go grab him. He's a special kind of quest, and I want to be really fully ready to roll. Come on. Come on. Another Heart of the Wild. Alright, let's eat some of my goods. Some more of this glossy mite fish. With... I mean, do I really... yeah, see, I need to be 50 to use the Dent Stone. Remember, I'm collecting the iron because that will help me when we get to Searing Gorge, and I'm doing the quest. So I've completed it with the lions. The only thing is, I need to find some 4 dark iron residue somewhere. I have to go probably into the outskirts of Blackrock Depths and just farm it. I gotta look that up, or I gotta check out. The problem is I have no money on that account, just none whatsoever. So, and when I say none, I literally mean none. Like, if I were to use a teleportation stone, I'd have to think about getting the 8 silver back to recoup my costs. And then I would have to be concerned with, could I really even pay for the flight path back to the Searing Gorge? The 17 or 7 silver, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not confident I could. And even so, what would be the price of the... Maybe if we do end up going to a capital today, I need to check and see what are the costs of Dark Iron Residue. I only need 4. I would like to be able to buy it. But I don't know if I truly don't know if I can afford it. I needed 2 gold to buy enough coal to get to friendly, and that I had to literally go out and kill mobs in the area to grind 2 gold. So it took me like half an hour or whatever. Maybe not half an hour, 15 minutes. It took me a little bit of time just set aside just to grind gold. So that's where I'm at with that character. Literally nothing. Because of maxing that rep out. And when I was already so broke, because it costs around 30 to 40 gold. Now I am done, except for that. And then for the Horde character, I've bought everything. I have enough gold, but I'm grinding out the Incendosaur scales. You need about 200 and something-ish altogether. You probably need somewhere like 220 after the few quests you can turn in. And I probably had 60 or so. So I'm in the process of grinding out the others. I'm down to needing about 50 left. I needed like 150 when I started grinding. So I might finish that today. Probably not. Probably finish tomorrow. And then, yeah, then it'll be the residue. So that's why I say I will probably finish that, because I don't have that much time to play. So, Silverleaf, get that out of my... We're gonna get that out of the bag here. So let's eat this little truffle. I'm trying to be greedy and not eat my moonberry juice. Look, there's a dude. You better not take Tooga from me or I'll be upset. But whatever, it is what it is. I hope I don't have to respawn on Tooga. Okay, let's see. Because I saw Tooga. Yeah, I just don't want him to take that Tooga. We need 2 more dudes. So if I can just get 2 more guys. That's all. I just need to make sure. He just took the turtle. So I tried to say quest, but he didn't get it. So now we're screwed, because now he will have this turtle with him on this quest. And now I can't until he does God knows what else. That's sad for me. I just had 1 more guy to kill. And I don't know if we have to wait for him to fully respawn. I guess we're going to research that. That's a bummer. Dang it. I mean, we need those eggs, so I guess we could grind those out. There you go, that's done. Okay, where can I get the eggs from now? Where'd the turtle go? What the heck? I'm gonna see if they abandoned, because I don't even see the turtle anymore. They just don't answer me. So now I gotta find the turtle, but also he has a respawn timer, and he can respawn any stinking where. So if you look around, there is a couple places. Out here you can see this crashed Zeppelin. The turtle can respawn anywhere. It looks like, I just don't know. Probably just picked it up and wasn't really paying attention and didn't realize, oh, now this turtle is going to follow me around and you're on a timer when you do it, and I don't know. But now we've created a respawn situation. So let's look the quest up and find out. Okay. So it is called Tooga's Quest. Let's look that up. Tooga's Quest. So what do we know? I don't want to fight that guy. Because I don't really think beast mobs have the best. They have a very, it's almost not worth an amount of chance to get the turtle. But he wanders all over. He could literally be wherever. But I think his respawn timer, since that guy abandoned it, he had to, because he just suddenly wasn't with him anymore. We're most likely waiting on that respawn. So if you look at the comments, okay. It says he's found in the northern parts. You might have to wait for him to respawn. He moves around a lot. Not seeing a lot about the respawn. We'll come back and check that in a minute. I have gotten him over here before. He truly can spawn like anywhere around here. Questy has him up there, but I don't know. Maybe once I saw him up there. Yeah, that does stink that that rogue picked that quest up only to abandon it. And as you saw, we were right here. He was right here for us. Somewhere around here. The draw distance on him is, I feel like it's a little low. But I don't know. Now, once you get it, he cannot keep up with your mount, so you essentially have to charge on foot all the way back to Steamweedle Port. So you're literally crossing the entirety of Tanaris. The good thing is, though, you're not... It's not an escort in the normal sense. Like I said, there's no ambushes. You just go at your own pace. And not anything to really worry about. So we could... I kind of don't want to leave the area. I kind of want to see this, but I also... I want to get some information on how long does the respawn take. And what kind of other things can I get for my ogre, for my egg? What kind of things have decent drop rate? Ideally right by where we're at. All right. I'm just waiting to see. The respawn. 30-minute timer. That's the max, so 5 to 10 for him to spawn. So 5 to 10 for him to respawn. That guy abandoned, so at least he immediately started the 5 to 10 minute respawn. And I just don't remember when we did that. I mean, when I said, did you abandon? But I don't know what time that was. I should have looked at time. Right now we're at 8:23. My guess is it's been at least 3 minutes. So my guess is we have anywhere from 2 to 7 minutes of waiting still to do. And we'll look at the eggs. I've done this quest 2 other times. And I've seen the Tooga thing walking around a couple other times. When I wasn't on the quest. Once it was in the vicinity of where Questy had it, maybe more off to the side. The other time, we just saw it right there. I found it another time, maybe more close to the mountains. But I also did find it down here once. So he really does kind of just wander around and do whatever the hell he wants. Maybe it was more out here. I can't remember. I feel like this is where I saw the respawn when I did it. Alright, we'll look at some of these eggs too. Find OOXTN. That stinks that rogue picked that quest up. And then just ignored. I hope that it wasn't just like phased out and I didn't see it. I hope they really did abandon the quest. And now I'm good to go. That would actually be the best case scenario in the crappy thing. I can't believe they ran over and picked up that quest when they weren't going to do it. I mean, I can believe it. I saw it about to happen. I tried to run over and talk, but they either didn't speak English or didn't have say on, or weren't paying attention to their chat, or just didn't want to interact. Just wanted to do whatever they wanted to do. Okay. Yeah, I think I saw the turtle around there before too. I might kill a few Thistleshrub dudes. Ah, he's back. Yay! Alright, let's pick up this quest and then we'll go. I am so lost. My wife Torta sent me out to fetch dinner, and I must have taken a wrong turn somewhere. Would you be so kind as to lead me back to Torta? She's waiting for me just south of Steamweedle Fort. Alright, so here we go. We now have a 30-minute timer to walk him across the desert. You do not have to fight at all. If he aggroes, you do want to try to protect him, but you can just be smart about the way you walk. Like I said, if you have a speed booster, he probably can't keep up. If you walk on foot, he's totally fine. I don't know if he helps you or not, but he does have the 2.2 standard XP life, which is the same that I have, so he's pretty much as tough as a Ret Pally. And you can easily walk there in 30 minutes if you don't screw around. Let's find out. We're walking directly there, hopefully without the need to fight. So let's see, with little to no fighting, how fast will it take us to walk on foot with a, what is it, 3%? An 8% movement speed buff due to our perks. Oh, we're finally going to get a 2% more, which that should get us close to having life and mana matching when we hit level 52. Then at 53, we'll finally hit Consecrate. Love it. Then I believe up to 55, I will improve my lay on hands, reducing the time on that down to 40. That's going to be helpful. And it will give me an armor bonus while it's on. Those two things are worth it. And then I will give myself a 28% chance to resist. That's not nothing. Which will bring me to 57. Yeah, and then I guess I'll probably just keep going. So at the very end, I'll be a 70% chance of that. All right, let's see where we're at on time. I think we're at about an hour. Yep. Yeah, so this will probably be it for us today. I know it's a pinch shorter than normal, and I screwed us over yesterday by not recording the first hour or so. But by the time we do this and turn it in and then get on another flight path back to Feralis, what that will set us up to do, we'll be a little over an hour. We'll probably be like an hour and 15 by the time all that's said and done. But it will set us up for another run to go for another egg. And then we will go to Ungoro Crater. And that sets up an Ungoro Crater level where we've got a couple few episodes to do there. How much further to go? Oh, that was triggered at the 3-minute mark. How much further to go? I feel like we've done pretty good, man. We're at least 40% of the way across the desert. So really shouldn't complain, you turd. Alright, let's look up the OOX thing too. Find OOXTN. Okay. I don't want to fight, so we gotta be careful as we walk through the bones of these hyenas that we don't aggro any. It's funny, while I need the egg, I am avoiding all fights. I guess I could do that too. We could do a little bit of time grinding for this egg. Because that was close. I think we're just about done. Let me go back to, let's look at the spreadsheet actually. Let's look at that. Because if I look at the sheet back here, yeah, that Thirsty Goblin, which happens when we turn in this dew-laden thing, that is actually going to send us up to Hinterlands. And we've already done that. Those, I think, I'm pretty sure these Calm Before the Storm, all that stuff, most of them are either like chat quests from one mob to another mob in another city, or they take place in Ungoro Crater. I'm pretty sure we have to go down in there for the final bug quest, which is tricky. That is the hardest quest in this zone, for sure. It's harder than the pirate quest that we did. It's probably going to be tough for us to do it. I'm thirsty. I can't help when I do his voice. Another... Like, I'm tempted to go... I'm trying to go more for like an Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh thing. But I feel like I sound like when they took that... When they did the, like... Make-A-Wish kid in the... Right around the time that Burning Crusade came out, and they added this kid in as a quest giver for Mulgore, and it's like the only voice in the game that sounds like it, and he's like, "Can you help me find my dog?" Maybe it was Wrath of the Lich King. I can't remember when they added that quest in, but it was before Cataclysm, but after Classic Era. So either TBC or Wrath, but there was a kid that was, if you don't remember the story, I'll talk about it more when we play it. Torta must be so worried. He was like a young kid that was a World of Warcraft fan that had cancer, and it was like his wish to be in the game, and they did. They put him for perpetuity in that as a quest giver, and I think his dog's name was Kenny, maybe. It's actually a touching and sad story, because I believe the kid died shortly, not that long after they added him into the game. And I feel like he was young, like in the ballpark of like 10 years old or something like that. So just a real bummer of a thing, and something different. A different era. Like, can you imagine? I just can't imagine the game doing something like that now. Like, Porta must be so worried. And I don't know, maybe it's not that crazy, but I mean, I guess you can't do it First of all, what 10-year-old is playing World of Warcraft? I guess that's the biggest issue, you know. Alright, so we've made it. We brought her there. It took us 7.5 minutes, not quite 8 minutes to get there. Okay, we led Tooga to Torta. Torta, my love, I've returned at long last. You have any idea how long I've been waiting here? And where's dinner? All that time gone and nothing to show for it? My dearest Torta, I've been gone for so long. Finally we are reunited. At long last our love can blossom again. Enough with the rambling, I'm starving. Get your dusty shell into that ocean and bring Mama some grub. Yes, Torta, whatever your heart desires. And try not to get lost this time. That is the great loving relationship of Torta and Tooga. So he couldn't find his way back on his own. Figures. Well, I guess you deserve something for your troubles. Alright, we can get a male wrist, which is, if you look at those things, that's like an 11 point, just the raw stats, and if you cut those in half, that's more like a 7. So not as good. The armor, this is just like a 12 point armor thing, so I'd rather have the Falcon's hook and 3, 6, 10. It is borderline for the Seal of Rin. I feel like that, because that's 3, 6, that's 10 points if I cut those in half. And Spirit's probably even less, so that's more like 11 points compared to the 12 for the armor. But who cares about armor? So I'm not picking it, and I'm not picking that. Let's pick that for the money. Can you help me find my dog? Alright, so we picked up and dropped off the old Tooga's quest. Perfect. Bam. Bam. Oh, I forgot to mark off that we picked up Bungle in the Jungle. This should be Bungle in the Jungle. That actually is what we picked up. Forgot to mark that one off. Alright, now let's go take a little stroll back to town. Can you help me? Alright, I'll stop. I think we have a little bit of time. My original plan was to go about 20 minutes longer than we are right now. So we'll mess with these quests in a minute, but we really got to look at this. I got to find out, where does it drop by? Okay, so as you see, Zul'Farrak is the place to go. The best place to go. The bosses, of course. But if you make it to the Scarabs, they really don't have that bad of a drop. And they're a lot easier to kill than these guys. If you look, the Waste Wander Thieves are pretty high, but the Thistleshrub Root Shapers are actually pretty high. And as are the South Sea Pirates. South Sea Pirates are probably easier to kill. Makes up for the slightly worse drop rate they have, so I guess that's what we'll do. We will go back and farm some pirates. Just kill for the sake of killing. But let's turn in some stiff.
Talk to me.
Okay, Thistleshrub Valley.
They're that big, I might have to rethink my plan. But you did hold up your end of the bargain, so here's what I promised.
Thanks, buddy. Alright, Thistleshrub Valley is now completed. I think we need a few more. Whoa. Okay. So he still has the Scarab Shells, not ready for us, but we've got a little bit over here. The Thirsty Goblin. Hi, Thirsty Goblin.
Living out here in the desert is rough. I get so thirsty standing outside in this heat.
Please tell me you found the dew collectors.
Oh, wonderful. Give it here. Let me drink it.
Wonderful. Yeah, let me drink it. Yes. For whatever reason, that one is like a lower level quest. Easier to do, I guess.
Black! This stuff tastes terrible. So much for that idea. Wait, what's that? Oh, I know. You think I shouldn't give up on this stuff. Well, okay then. I have an idea. Brilliant. Take this dew to my friend Sprinkle. She's an excellent chef. Tell her what we're up to here, and that we want to make it go down a little easier. I mean, if it's gonna taste that bad, it at least should have some kick to it. And I'm just not feeling it.
Oh man, that's just weird. All right, so let's talk to Sprinkle. And he says, I'm going to carefully mix this. Oh, I spilled a little. That's him turning it in. So we will be turning that one in soon. But let's, we have to do our own part of it. Hi, Sprinkle.
Interesting.
So old Marin's up to it again, eh? Well, what's this concoction made from?
Marin's a good guy, don't get me wrong. Just a little eccentric, I'd say. And of course, he needs my help yet again.
Okay, good taste, done.
When I was a kid, my sister used to do all the cooking. It was horrible. I could barely stomach some of her concoctions until I found what I like to call my secret ingredient. Add it to anything and wow, it tastes great. What is it, you ask? It's a mushroom called the violet tragon. If you want me to help you turn this horrid-tasting brew into something edible, head to the hinterlands and look for a small lake there. Oh, and remember, the violet tragon can only be found underwater.
So, what we're saying is we have to go to a lake in the hinterlands. Questy will help us, because you could argue maybe it would be here, but your options are limited. There's only a few, and searching right there is not a bad one, and that's where it is. It's easy to get. I do think there is a Sprinkle secret ingredient. We'll pick that up. I think like you can eat it, and then you have to go all the way back there to get it. So that's the one thing. You just have to be careful not to eat it once you get it. I don't even know if it does anything if you do eat it. I don't know.
Welcome to Tanaris, adventurer. How can I be of service to you today?
Well,
You don't look like a
how
blacksmith
nice of
to me,
you.
but I know how looks can be deceiving.
What if I am a blacksmith? Do I need Heart of the Wild? Will I ever need Heart of the Wild? As a blacksmith, I don't know. So it's a reagent for nothing in blacksmithing. Cool. It is not required by any quests. Cool. Yeah. Alright, so might as well sell them, because it doesn't seem as though... I mean, of course, a real savvy person would be selling that on the auction house, considering I always complain about how broke I am. But I'm not savvy. I'm just a ding-dong. Alright, so... we have two reasons why we're going to start grinding now. One is I would like to, before we hit our next journey, I would like to level up. And we are... I mean, I'm just going to do maybe about like 10 to 15 minutes of grind. We'll do it together. I need 13,000 XP. We're going to go fight those pirates to do it. Because they have the best drop rate at 0.7%. My mom's been on a heater lately. Yeah, so that's pretty much what we're going to do. We're just going to try this for a little bit, and hopefully we get lucky with the RNG gods. Please, RNGesus, help me. We need it for the eggs, too. So these are the two things that could hold us heck to Christmas. I don't think that's gonna happen. That would be an insane amount of bad luck. What we need is the eggs. So a 0.7%, if you divide so for instance, if you divide 100 by 1%, that would mean that it would take you 100 kills. So dividing 100 by by 0.7 means approximately 143 kills would be the expected value to get an egg on these guys. Now, we already killed somewhere in the neighborhood of, I want to say, like, I don't even know, 40 to 50 at least when we were getting those hats, because the drop rate on those hats was maybe around 50%, and I know we killed all the other mobs and we still didn't have them, so it just makes me feel like my guess is probably somewhere around 50. Look, there's a solid chest. I'm going to open that bad boy too, because you never know. Not sure what I'm going to do with this guy. He's going to run. Come on, you bozo. Let's see what we got here. Dang it, I messed it up. My Judgment of the Crusader wore off on him. Alright, we've killed 4 so far. And we didn't get one, that's it. I'm going home. No, we'll do about 10 minutes. This is just the beginning of the grind. Okay, we got just a bunch of crap out of that chest. I don't know that the egg can drop out of chests. I think that's just, you know, maybe you get lucky and you find a green item or whatever. Come on. Run, you little freebooter. Okay. Honestly, I should have been out here when I was trying to farm for gold. These guys drop 14... Oh, that was from the chest. It was like 14 silver. No, 70 copper, 3 silver. It's a little bit lower than when I was farming in Searing Gorge. Searing Gorge. Okay. Now I'm gonna eat a cured ham steak? Sure. Why not? Why stinking not? This person says it turns out losing a lot of blood burns calories at an incredible rate. The more you know. Alright, so, I mean, you also get the added... The other benefit of fighting these guys is they have a chance of dropping the footlockers. But you just might have bad luck. I'm telling you, like, it took me probably... I think I killed 1,000 elves in Hinterlands. I can't remember if it was 1,000 or 2,000. The legend will grow every time I think about it, I'm sure. It was definitely at least 1,000, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was closer to 2,000 before I gave up and I just went and started killing, you know, the run. So if I spend too many days on this, I get too frustrated. We will just abandon and do Zul'Farrak. Okay, we don't need those fragments. The only thing they're going to let us do is go after Cuervo's gold again, the repeatable quest. So we're going to collect them just so that I can collect and toss and collect. I'm not doing that over and over again. We already saw. I just don't even want to run down there. It's not worth it for me. Although the treasure was decent. Decapitation. I chopped you in the back of the head. You fool. You stinking fool. Okay, I'm 2v1ing with no mana. Always a good idea. Can I do it? Yes, he can. I have 300 mana. Probably... There we go. Hey, buddy. Oh, I don't want to do another one. No, I did. I drew him. You little so-and-so. Okay. That means I gotta save mana for healing. Which I don't even have enough for it yet. Come on. Rejuvenate. Rejuvenate your mana. Come on, Gleekatessa. Get smarter. Or more spiritual, or whatever it is. Watch me heal myself. Now watch me heal. Now watch me nay-nay. I don't even know why I picked Seal of the Crusader, because I'm not going to have enough mana to Judgment and then pair it with another Seal, so I don't know what the point is. You come back here, you little so-and-so. Chop your stinking head off. Alright, let's eat this banana bread this time. I'm not going to drink that, even though the volatile rum is looking enticing. I'm not drinking it. I'm abstaining. Okay, that banana bread hits. It's just right. Alright, let's kill some of these guys. It's kind of sad that the egg is holding us back. We're getting, let's see, 300, so we need 9,000 XP, so we need about 30 of these guys. We may or may not get that in this episode. I mean, we're not going to get it in this episode. We may or may not get that before we get the egg. You never know. The egg could freaking drop any time now. Eggs are our bane. That's right. I'll chop you so hard. $96 copper? Why am I wasting my time? I'm on the fence. I just feel like she just doesn't do quite as... Like my Feral Druid? My Feral Druid, hands down, does the best DPS that I have. Of all my characters. She just does. It's not even close. Like, she's routinely hits for single strikes of 1,000. She crits sometimes as high as 1,400. Now she's 56, not 51. And the utility is pretty good. So I just can't complain. Come on, what is going on with this? I'd like to kill this guy before I heal. That was the goal. And I would, it's hard. Like, I'd say I probably hit a little better with, I'm going to drink a moonberry juice here. Probably hit a little better with this guy, with her. She probably does a little bit better DPS single target over my mage. Now, the mage is hands down no contest. That's the AoE king. And because of all the frost stuff, the kiting, the mage can do a lot of things that the other characters can't do. But most of the time, my feral is so good on damage that it compensates. Like, I can do things that normally mostly my mage can do, but both of these other two characters, my shaman and my paladin, it's not. It's just, they're just not on that same level. Now, she does have all these bubbles and lay on hands, which can help with some things, some words of attrition. Usually, it's not enough to overcome. Like, I can do a lot more of a word of attrition than, say, my druid can. Although it's close. And the shaman, the lack of mana really hurts the war of attrition on the part of the shaman. Why are you dodging me? Alrighty. Okay, we're gonna kill just a few more guys, and then that's it. We're gonna go back for the egg flight for next time. And then, I don't know, I guess we'll fight Ungoro Crater. I don't know what I want to do. Or maybe we'll come back and do this. Not sure. See what I feel like doing in a few days. We have a few paths we can get to since RNG has screwed us over and we're stuck. We do have a little bit of quests we can do. I mean, we could always run Zul'Farrak, I guess, too. I guess, yeah, like, I will probably do everything and then we'll do, like, one level of grinding, and if I spend an entire 1.5 to 2 hour episode grinding and we still don't get it, then I think we'll just run Zul'Farrak. And then hopefully we get it during the Zul'Farrak run, and then as part of our post-Zul'Farrak cleanup, because we will have some things to do, we'll have a whole episode worth of stuff to do. We'll go ahead and do the escort. Alright, so we did not get it. So back we go. We are now only 5,600 away. And we're going to start on our 7th egg run next time. We still could finish at the expected value of 8. But now, if we were to just stop right now, the expected value would be 12. Would be... yeah, it would be 6 more. So... because we've had such bad luck. So again, all things being even, because now, big picture, we will, you never know what's going to have to happen. We still could strike on luck. I mean, we have a 50-50 chance. So the fact that we failed a 50-50 chance roll, if you think about it, 4 times in a row, that's like saying you want to get heads and you flip tails 4 times in a row. So the odds are not impossible, but 50, 25, 12, it's about a 6% chance that the luck could be as bad as what we've had. So that's pretty bad luck. So we had like a 94% chance of getting some good luck, and we still failed. So that's, again, of course, assuming all things are equal. But I suspect that they are, because we're getting bad and fine. We're not getting, like, if we were getting bad and ordinary, and then we had gotten, a fine or whatever, then I would start to think, okay, maybe there's some rarity issues. But I do not think it works that way. And my limited run of, let's say, now having done this around 23 egg turn-ins, well, the past 6 have screwed me up. I'd say I had done about 19 egg turn-ins. Actually, I'm about 25. So the first 3 quarters really did track. But now I've skewed that. And we seem to be stuck between 2 things. Alright, let's get this there. There's that there. Now I can sell off all that junk. Alright, so that was, you know, not too shabby. Altogether, we ran hour and a half, which is pretty good for work night. Tomorrow I'm gonna play the APK Assassin's Creed 2 again. I don't know how many total levels it is. I've done 3 levels so far. Based on how long the other one was, we're probably close to halfway through. I also did, it was a little shorter because it took me a while to get the game up and running. So I would imagine I could probably finish 4 or 5 levels, and the game is pretty simple. So I think it's pretty solid chance that I finish it tomorrow.
Welcome to Tanaris, adventurer. How can I be of service to you today?
I get tempted to rebuy that recipe for the koi every time. And then we'll get another short one, probably some kind of Warcraft encyclopedia or something next time. All right, everybody, I appreciate you and I salute you. I thank you so much for watching, for listening, and tuning in. And hey, I'll see all of you next time on World of Warcraft. I would like to fly to Feralis.